Hey, I am so thrilled to have Demi Griffin back again. It's been a while, Demi. Welcome
Yeah.
to Between the Lines.
Oh, thank you. I'm happy to be here.
It seems like it's only been a short time, but we did the math. It's been a year. So we were just talking about how Demi is this prolific writer. She puts these books out, and it seems like she just keeps writing, writing, writing. But she's got a strategy. It's kind of interesting. She might want to tell you about it. She might not. We'll see. How are things
Yes,
going, Demi?
everything's going good. Just
Good.
keep writing, keep reading, doing all
Yeah.
that good stuff. And yeah, I definitely have my strategy. It's such a funny thing because I am an organized, very routine loving person. But when I write, I try to plot things out and God does not let me. So I had to surrender the journey and let him kind of lead me chapter by chapter. And
Uh,
it's extremely hard because it's very much not my personality.
I
I
am
want,
right there with you. I am totally organized. I want to have everything plotted out, and I tried
hmm.
that, but the Holy Spirit comes in and shifts things
Yep,
around, and now I don't even bother. I know what the ending's supposed to be. I know some of the issues in between, but it
yep,
definitely slows you down because you got to
yep,
wait. You're waiting on the Lord. Yeah.
absolutely. And sometimes even life gets in the way because
Oh,
I'll say, okay, Lord, I can't write between such and such a dates because I have all this going on. And wouldn't you know, as soon as my head hits the pillow, my characters start dialoguing. And if I don't get up and write it down,
uh, you got to do it right then. See, I have
you
the
have to
opposite.
do it.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna work. Like my husband went to did a mission trip to Taiwan at the beginning, December 1st to December 10th. Okay. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get my book done. I've got 10 days. It'll be great. And everything that could go wrong went wrong. Woke up the first morning with no heat and then had to deal with that for 3 days. And it was like 20
Uh,
degrees outside. I got that
no.
figured out. I had a day of writing and then I got a cold and I was feeling punky for 2 days. Got that shaken and then had another good day of writing. And then I got vertigo for the first time ever where I literally could not. I was crawling to let my poor dog out to go potty at night. I could
Oh,
not. And I was like, okay, God is saying, you know what? You'll write when I decide you're going to write.
yep. Exactly.
He kind of just chuckles up there while we're making our plans.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, I specifically had said like not till after Easter. I have all this stuff going on, but wouldn't you know it? I
I
had
don't
to.
know. I kind of would love it if my characters would, the dialogue in your head. So if that happens to you, are you jumping up out of bed?
Yeah. Well, I've it depends. Sometimes I do have to get out of bed if the scene starts going really long in my head. I have to get up and I'm so tired. And but other times I can just grab my phone and I can just type in the notes in the dark, just typing in the notes. And I've gotten pretty good at that. And then because it's true, the next morning, if I hadn't
On.
captured it, it's gone. It's just gone. And
Like a dream.
yeah, and they say the most witty, eloquent things when I'm trying to go to sleep. I don't know what that's about. So
My husband says he does his best thinking in the shower and he just can't write it down. I said, we need to get you one of those whiteboards.
right.
And he always tells me, he goes, why don't you just, if you got to write, just turn on the light and write. And I said, well, then I wake you up and,
Yeah, yeah,
it makes it
yeah,
hard, and yeah, it could be a
yeah.
problem. So how funny is that?
It is. Yeah.
So you have been writing a lot of, is it historical fiction? Remind me, because it's a fairy tale type fantasy, is what you have been doing a lot of. Is that true?
Yeah. So last year I released an epic fantasy that was biblical allegory.
Okay.
And I had intended for it to just be one book, one really nice book. And it ended up being 11. And
Oh,
so
wow.
the Lord took me through the entire Bible. And it was so much fun because as we were talking earlier, I like to plot things out. Well, this I kind of had to plot it. I ended up with a spreadsheet a mile long because trying to keep track of how it all. And
Like,
when I started the first book, I didn't, I knew kind of how it was going to end because Revelation and everything, but the way it all came together was just fascinating for me as I was writing it that I hope it comes across reading it. So that was a project that took me 5 years of
wow.
just dedication and it almost would give me a headache just the way all the books intertwined because it's seven different ages and it just was
Oh,
so involved.
it's like
Very fascinating.
one of those biblical ancestry trees, where they go every which way and they
Hmm.
all start with J and you can't quite figure out who belongs to who.
Yep. 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 And it was
Oh,
so much fun. And I I was relieved in a way that when it came to a finish because it really was hard to do. It was the most challenging project I've ever put
wow.
on myself. So I decided, oh, just for fun, I think I'll write a short fairy tale, which is, fantasy romance fairy tale single book, just to kind of have some fun with it. Well, I had a character in that book that decided to end it in a way. Let's see, I don't want to give spoilers, but
But you had to have
basically
more than
this,
one book.
yeah, this character said, I need a book. And so it turned into a trilogy. So
And
there
so
you
that
have
was
it.
the one I thought, because we hadn't really talked ahead of
Right.
time. So I thought we
Yeah.
were going to talk about Cerulean Rose, which
Yeah.
came out in January. But we're talking today about Blaze of Honor. It's the first
Correct.
book of your Spirit Ignited series, and it's
That's
biblical
right.
fiction. So let's tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. So Spirit Ignited series was a series that I had put on the back burner when I switched over into fantasy. I did not think that I was going to release the books in the series, but they were all written. However, the Lord had other plans. So here it is. And they are the story of four men that were in the crowd at Pentecost. So I had been reading through Acts, and I usually, when you read that scene, you kind of read it from Peter's perspective, where he's given the sermon and 3,000 people were brought into the church that day. And all we really know about the crowd is that they come from the different regions.
Right.
There's a lot of people there from different regions. And for whatever reason, well, because the Lord is amazing with his inspiration, I was thinking I had read the passage many times, but this one particular time I really honed in on the crowd. I said, I wonder what they were doing there. I wonder what each person was hearing. I know they were hearing in their own language, but what
Right.
were they hearing? What was motivating them to, make this commitment? Like what did they really hear? And so then Spirit Ignited was born,
Wow.
and each of the and men, so that it's four men written from their point of view. There's romance in each of the stories. This one, Blaze of Honor, is about Joram, and he is from Parthia. And as I was doing the research for it, I found out that there were these bandits. Their names are Ananias and Archelaus, so they're very close. They were close Jewish brothers who lived in the region, but they were kind of renegades. They were causing all sorts of trouble. And so they become characters in the story.
How
And
fun.
it's through them. Yeah, the historical details were very interesting on these guys. There's a whole um, kind of a Cain and Abel situation going on because one of the brothers decides to marry a Gentile. The other brother doesn't like it. Then that brother ends up dead. And there's all sorts of
Um,
interesting things going on. That's a side story in my story, kind of the historical background. But Joram, my character, his main arc is about honor.
mhm.
And so it's learning the difference between what does it really mean to honor God, and he is doing it by hiding behind the scripture that says honor your father and mother. Well, his mother left, so he doesn't have a mother, and his father, with good intentions, is asking him to do something that would probably not be pleasing to the Lord. And so he has to navigate, what does this really mean? Where do I draw the line? And
Hmm.
so the whole story is really about, what does it really mean to honor the Lord? How do you do that if it means turning your back on your family, or what where
Questions.
yeah, it was a very interesting. He's a good character. He's very humble and very quiet, not assertive at all. And so he really kind of gets pushed around, and he doesn't stand up for himself. And so part of his journey is learning, when do I stand up for myself in the strength of the Lord?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah.
So,
So
how long ago did you actually write? Because I know you were just telling me that you write the entire series before you release anything.
yeah. Yes, I do. I wrote these probably 6 years ago.
Wow. When
So,
you go back
and
and look at them, do you feel like you have to make a lot of changes? Do you look at it and go, oh, my writing has improved since then and I see where I need to change things? Or do you,
oh, definitely. Yeah, there's
okay.
definitely the writing definitely changes. The story doesn't change that much, but my writing voice changes with every release. And so, yeah, it's funny if you go back to the earliest releases, I cringe. I'm like, oh, I want to rewrite these so bad. But
I
that's what's
have,
nice
yeah,
about, yeah, about waiting so long, because then when I get it, when I start getting ready to release it, I'm reading it as a reader because I'm no longer attached as closely as I
right,
was when I was writing it. So I really get a different lens when I'm looking at it. And it can be a blessing and a curse because yeah, it does change it a little bit. But I also try to do them all together so that the series doesn't change the voice as I release the
right.
books, if that makes sense.
It does.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
And
so it's quite involved.
I don't know that people can really easily understand what it means to say you have a voice, a writer's voice. Even when I was teaching middle school and we had to, the seventh graders would have these essays they had to write every year, and all the staff would have to then sit
Mhm.
down and it's like, okay, you're grading part of their voice. Well, what does that exactly mean? And it wasn't until I started writing and going to conferences where somebody said, "Oh, you've got a very clear voice," and I'm like, "What does that mean exactly?"
Yeah, yeah,
So, having the voice, they say you should be able to take an author and not look at their name, but read
yeah,
the work and be able to identify that's the author because
yes,
they're distinctive in how they write.
yeah,
I have friends that have done nonfiction books, and they're so clear even in their nonfiction work of their voice because it sounds just like them.
yes,
And
yes.
so
And I
even
think it takes a while for a writer to find their voice.
Mhm.
I think it wasn't until probably my third series that I finally slipped into that with enough confidence to just keep it where where it's at,
Well,
even though it changes.
I switched when I was switched from to Southern fiction from before. It's a different voice because it's a different dialect in a way, in a lot of ways.
Right.
So that was a little bit of a challenge trying,
Yeah.
you know,
And genres. I think
yeah.
having I write in multiple genres, so there's a different kind of feel for
Oh,
each
yeah.
one as well. And biblical fiction has its own kind of lane, and then historical and
Mhm.
fantasies definitely. Fantasy is the one that frees my mind up the most
Oh,
because
really?
um it's so creative. I know when I first started writing, one of the things that I prayed about, and it was such an illuminating concept, but God was basically telling me that I I am an imaginative person that really didn't give him access to my imagination. And I never really thought about that.
Hmm.
But I think I thought that imagination and God didn't go together. If that makes any sense. I thought, you have to have facts. You have to just stay with the Bible and everything that's in there. And yes, that's true. That's your core. But application is also part imagination and that kind of thing. And so once I leaned into that, peeling back those layers, it's like my core is biblical fiction, but I have a heart of historical romance and I have a spirit of fantasy. So it's like all mixed there together. And
Oh,
I
interesting.
know people say, don't write multiple genres, but
I think
you have
that's
to
gone by
follow the
the
inspiration.
wayside. That's gone by
Yeah.
the wayside. I know more authors that are jumping all over the place with genre. So
Yeah.
I don't have enough imagination to do fantasy. I just don't. I'm so boring. I tell my husband, just right in my lane. I can do
Yeah.
something, but not fantasy and sci-fi. I can't do either one of those.
Yeah, I can't do sci-fi. I I love reading Regency romance. I don't think I could write it because I love reading it though. It's one of my favorites. But never say never because God can do whatever He wants to
Right.
do. So
That's right.
I've learned don't say never, but yeah. So right now I'm writing historical romance, but I haven't released I have two historical romance series, but I have not released those. Those will be years away. So
It kind of blown my mind. I'm just like, oh my gosh. I don't know. I want to do historical, and I talked about that, but the one I'm on now, the series I'm doing now is has a backdrop of trains, like it's southern a Norfolk Southern train line series, and it's a real series, a train line that's in this area. And I told my husband I don't want to leave this, but I'd like to do some kind of a historical, and he goes, why don't you just add that? And because I want to do a dual timeline, he goes, why don't you add that
oh yeah.
and just call it the same series, but then and now or something? And I said, "Oh, that's brilliant. See,
Yeah.
he figured it out and I couldn't think about it. He had to figure it out for me. So, that allows you to jump into something different and still stay in this.
Yeah.
But I'm a one book at a time girl, I'll tell you. I wrote a book.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to even look at it. I kind of remembered it because I'm doing a talk this weekend at a church, and I had to go back over all my notes from the last time I did that. And I wrote a book years and years ago when my daughter was in the hospital. She had TBI, was in a car wreck, and so she was in the hospital for quite a while, at first in a
Mhm.
coma and then recovery for weeks. And so I had picked up writing again because I'd been teaching and I had put writing on the shelf. And I wrote a book, and it's not biblical whatsoever because I wasn't walking with the Lord at the time in that way,
Yeah.
you know. So I have it in there, and I'm afraid to go back and look at it. There's so much.
Yeah.
Everybody says, "Oh, you should go back and you could rewrite it and tweak it." I probably could, but back then it was like in a binder this big, because
Yep.
everything we didn't put it on the computer. You printed it all out.
Yep. Yes.
So,
I have my fair share of binders too.
do you?
Definitely,
I'm
yes.
afraid to go back and look at those and just like,
Well, and it's sad because the pages are laser printers, so they're now sticking together. So I don't know
so,
if I can peel them
good
apart.
luck. Yeah, that would be a problem. I haven't even looked that hard, and now that we're living in the South, everything sticks. It's probably all
Yep.
together now, and they'll never get in there. So it's pretty funny. What is your writing day like for you? You do a lot of writing, and I know you said that you started
Yes.
years and years ago, but do you seem like a scheduled person. I mean, I'm very
Yeah,
curious.
I do. I my best writing time is in the morning. So usually I hit the ground running from, after I do my quiet time with the Lord, I write till about noon. I usually take a walk and then I'll come back in the afternoon. Sometimes if my characters bug me while I'm walking, I have to write another chapter when I get back. Otherwise, I spend the afternoons reading because I do a lot of reading and reviewing books as well. So yeah. So I pretty much spend and I also work. So
How do
I
you
work
fit all
part
that
time.
in?
Yeah, I work part time and at the church, I'm an office manager at the local church here. And so 2 or 3 days a week, I'm there. So on the days that I'm not there, I'm 8 hours a day working here on my stuff. So I don't leave the house
How do
at
you,
all.
I was gonna say, how do you clean your home? How do you cook a meal? How do you do anything else?
Yeah, I don't cook. I'm terrible cooking and my husband fends for himself. Thankfully, he does not like my cooking, and um, my daughter still lives here, so she is very helpful on the domestic chores for me. So I'm pretty fortunate, pretty blessed that I can focus on my writing when I need to.
That's,
And then like I said, I ask the Lord for a little bit of reprieve so that I can get that stuff done. I do
uh,
have to live life and
I'm
get some things done. So
Yeah, I hear you. My morning for me is the best time as well. And after,
yeah,
but sit with the podcast, and then you're doing newsletters and doing all these other things,
yeah,
it takes up time too. Critique groups and all that stuff all
yeah.
takes up time. But
I just
I'm,
started a newsletter, so we'll see
did
how that
you?
goes. I got to
Yeah,
add that to my daily tasks.
that's right. Well, yeah,
Well, monthly.
everything takes a little time. It's
Yeah.
incredibly, and I'm like you, I'm fortunate. I do like to cook. Um, we kind of get in a rut because we're not, it's like we don't take the time. We have all these great cookbooks and we want to, oh, I have this gut health cookbook and all these great cooking meals. It's like if I
Yeah.
could just the only time, and this is gonna sound really, really sad, The only time I really commit to cooking is we have a little Maltese and I make his meals. So I do a full month worth of meal. It takes me like 3 hours, 3 or 4 hours, and I do a whole month worth and freeze.
Wow.
That's he eats better than we do. Like,
Yeah.
seriously, eats better than we do. Yeah. So my husband, bless his heart, he does all the cooking at night, you know. I just have to
Okay.
serve the vegetable. He'll do the rest of it. So,
Yeah.
but
I
we get
have I
rid of
have
that.
some I have a lot of food allergies, so it makes it very difficult for me
Oh,
to I can't eat 90% of what everybody else eats. And so my husband loves to eat. So that's why he cooks for himself, because when you're not able to taste food in a way that is pleasurable, you
right.
kind of don't
Want to eat
you're
it.
not good at cooking. So
Oh,
it's kind of a lost cause for me, but I eat to sustain my body and that's
right.
about it. So
I have a friend who's that way that she's allergic to so many things.
yeah.
She can't eat
Yep.
so many things that make her sick. So even when she was
Yeah.
going to come over, we had to go through our spices. Okay, can we put this spice in?
Oh
It
yeah,
was
I
really
never use
hard.
spice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, I'll do anything you want. I'll come to your house. I'll bring whatever, but I'm not cooking for you anymore. I can't do it.
Yeah.
It's too
No.
stressed. I get so stressed. And we
Yeah.
have people come, like we had people coming for a few days. They wanted to come and stay. They asked if they could come visit. And she's such on such a strict diet. It
Yeah.
freaks me out, you know. How am
Yeah.
I gonna keep everybody happy?
Yeah. And it makes it hard to travel and things like that. Cause yeah,
Yeah,
you don't want to go to someone else's house or go, I've always wanted to go to a writer's conference, but it makes me nervous because I don't know if my body's going to cooperate. So
exactly. That would be really difficult. I never thought
yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of your challenges. So it does
Yes.
give you
Yeah.
time for writing and reading, though, if you don't have to worry about cooking. But
And that's why I don't write about food in my books a lot because I have no experience. So it was funny. In one of them, I forget which one, I think it was in the fantasy series, I felt like I needed to put some food in there. And I go, I don't know anything about food. It was very challenging. And yet I read so many books where the recipes are in the back and all that
yeah.
stuff. Totally lost on me.
I don't do a ton of that kind of stuff either, but I do with the southern people. They love their food. You know,
Yeah.
you can't go to a church function without it being a major potluck. In fact, our pastor, Southern Baptists. Our pastor made the crack about how Southern Baptists aren't really good with the whole fasting idea because they they don't tend to fast. They like to eat a lot. So
Yes.
being transplants here has, you know, we eat super clean, super healthy.
Yeah.
So, you know, Wednesday nights they have a separate church, and then I lead a Bible study, and my husband helps with the kids groups, and we do stuff on Wednesdays. But I can't eat the food anymore; it just tears me up. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll show up
Yeah.
after. So
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. And then I don't want to ever make people feel bad. Why aren't you eating? So I just try to stay away because I don't want people to feel bad.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have that kind of discipline. If it's there, I want to eat it, and then I end up feeling crummy. So that
Yeah.
does not go. But
Yeah.
well, then, so you have this Blaze of Honor. It's coming out in next month.
Yep.
Well, by the time we publish this podcast, it'll be coming out next week, just so you guys,
Yeah, that's
I'll
right.
put the link in there. It's going to be on a pre-order for 4.99.
Correct.
How long will that pre-order be good for? Just till the
Until the
day of
release.
release? Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
And then it goes to 7.99. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. And then your paperback, what is that going to go?
Oh, I think it's 14.99.
Okay. Wow. Okay, 14.99. So I'll put that in the notes. And now you is your second one. I know you are releasing, you don't release a series until have them all, you've already got them all done.
Yes. So this Spirit Ignited series is out of my comfort zone because I'm going to be releasing them once a year,
No
every
way.
May. Yeah. So, and they are standalone in the series. They don't depend on each other. So it should be fine. But yes, it's really hard for me to do that. But every May I will release a new
Have book
story
two
in the
done?
series.
Do you have
Oh
book
yeah,
two
they're all
done?
done. They're all
Oh, I
done, and
see.
I haven't edited it, of course. I mean, I haven't edited it for release. It's been edited, but not for release. So I'll look at that in the fall and get that one ready for
So
releasing in May.
do you hire an editor for your work?
Yes, yes, yeah.
It's
the initial stages, and then I'll have her do one more look through. But it's already been through the process. It's just like we said, when time goes by, you kind of want to double check and make sure everything's the way you want it to sound and stuff. So
well, even so as the editing, I just really I went through it. I had it, my editor went through it. I went through it again. I had somebody else go through it again. I
yeah,
and my sister-in-law, I gave her the book at Easter, because I had the paperback, so I gave her the paperback, and she sent it.
yeah.
Sure, I used the wrong character's name in one part. I'm like,
Oh,
all those
I've done
times.
that.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
so frustrating.
yes.
Great. So I had to go back
Especially
in.
when three people have looked at it and nobody caught it. That's the
Well,
worst.
exactly. And I ordered 30 copies. So I have 30 copies here that I'm gonna all of them. I feel like I want to go in there and fix it, in the paper.
Oh, yes,
So it's like,
yes,
oh, just it's heartbreaking. I mean, it's easy. It's nice when you can go in with Amazon, you can go in and upload it, re-upload it, the clean copy.
yes,
You don't have to worry about it.
yeah,
It's
yes.
still, it's
Oh,
frustrating.
it's like finding hair in your food.
I know it's frustrating. No matter
It's
how
just
hard you work at it,
yes.
there's always going to be. And my old publisher would say, "Oh, you have 10%. It's okay, 10% of mistakes." It's like, no, it's not.
Oh,
If you have a
no.
300, if you have a 300 page book, that means you can have 30 mistakes or
Yeah.
9,000 words. You can have. I don't think that's okay.
No. I can't stand it. If I read it in my own book and come across it, I have to change it.
Oh yeah,
I won't sleep at night if
no, I can't.
if there's like, oh, you put an extra letter A. Oh,
Or
yeah.
even an extra space between the
An
period.
extra space.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. So those of you listening to us, this is one of those things that you don't think about these things that we have to deal with that keep us up at night.
Right.
Not all that simple. You try
It's
to, especially,
the brain auto corrects
it
when you're
does.
writing, and you just don't see it. And but again, that's the advantage when I put my books away for 6 months and then I come back and look at them, I will catch so many
Yeah.
because my eyes are fresh and I'm not completely absorbed in the story. So
I'm not writing that fast. When I first got published, I had 3 books done. But then I was asked to write 3 books a year and I couldn't,
yeah.
I couldn't keep up to do it the way you.
Well, it's probably I don't know if it would be hard if somebody's expecting you to write them instead of
Doing it on your own.
being inspired to write them. I don't know. Maybe it feels a little bit more pressure. I know I put
Sure.
pressure on myself, but that's me putting pressure on me. I'm not sure. Yeah, if somebody else was saying you need to do this, I don't know if I could.
I know.
So
Now,
yeah,
well, now that I'm on my own, I'm just doing one a year. My husband said you
yeah,
need balance. You got to have
yep,
other things to do besides. And actually, the last 2 days I've been painting. So you just
yeah.
not painting like art outside,
Painting your house.
restaining posts outside that I wanted to do in the fall and didn't get to it. So it's always
Yeah.
something an upkeep. When you've got a home.
Oh yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. And how many books do you have out? You have quite a
I'm
few
working
too.
on not like you. I'm working on number 17 right now.
Okay,
So,
yeah,
yeah, I don't have the number of books you have. So,
yeah,
but it's okay. God gives each of us our own journey, and we have to
right.
stay in our lane and be
Exactly.
okay with
Yep,
what we're doing and
yep.
not get book envy, and so
No,
I
not at
wish I could
all.
do
Yeah,
that. I talk to so
yeah,
many authors because this is my 4th year doing this.
yeah.
I've talked to so many people, and some of them are like prolific writers, and some of them have one book out, and that's all they've done in 5 years.
Yep, yep.
So it's
Yeah,
just,
this is my 10th year. August will be my 10th year since I started my website and started this whole crazy journey with I no expectations. And it's just been every book is yeah, it's just a blessing and I enjoy it. And I think when you get to the point where you're not enjoying it, then
you're done,
that's not the time to do it anymore. And
right?
yeah.
Well, it's been so nice catching up with you again. And since you have
Yeah.
that, you should come back anytime. You just let me know. I'd
Oh
love to have
yeah,
you back on
absolutely.
here and talk about your next book. So
Yes, I would love that.
thank you so much, Demi. I hope
Thank
that
you.
you will be blessed with this book, and I'll send you that information. You guys
Okay.
need to know what I'm sending her, but I'm sending her special information.
That sounds great.
Okay. Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Bye.
Bye.